Well, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Good. How's CMA going for you?
It's good. It's in full swing.
Yeah, you have how many performances did you do while you were here?
I've had two,
Okay.
and today it's a relatively easy day. I'm going to sign in the Chevy booth in a little bit and
Cool.
run around talking to everybody.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Well, look, I kind of get to the meat of it. I mean, I have read your bio, and I think I know a little bit about you, so that's a good thing.
That's good. That's better than the contrary.
I'm really interesting to me. Your story's really interesting to me. I mean, you're somewhat of a gypsy, and I think you can say that in your bio.
Yeah.
Starting out in Thunder Bay, Ontario, right?
That's right.
And then you were raised for a good bit of your life in Iowa.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things there to me is before you apparently began your music career, you were somewhat of a show horse rider.
Yes,
is that correct?
that's very correct. I grew up showing horses professionally. I won my first world championship when I was 5 and turned pro when I was 13 years old. So I grew up in the barn, throwing hay bales and on the road for weeks at a time, and it was a great way to grow up. I had to grow up very quickly. It was just my mom and I, but it taught me how to work hard.
Right.
And that has proven to be invaluable, and it gave me a lot to write about.
Well, you are none the worse the wear for it, I tell you. That's good. And it looks like you've but after that, lived around in several places, but you've been in Nashville a little while now, right?
I've been here for 7 years, and Tennessee is the 7th state that I've lived in.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's interesting living in all those different places. I was 17 years old when I moved to Nashville, and I just didn't realize that other 17-year-old girls didn't have all these different things to write about.
Right.
And so I think everything happens for a reason. And
Yeah. And so you're writing at Byron Gallimore's, is that correct?
I've been writing songs for him for 6 years.
Yeah. And Byron's producing you as well?
He sure is.
Great.
He did my first record, and I wrote or co-wrote everything on it. And having Byron on board is a pretty priceless thing. He was my dream producer when
you could do a lot worse.
Oh yes, I mean literally. When people started asking me around town who I wanted to work with producer-wise, I didn't even know what a producer was or what a producer did, and I wanted to know who produced the Lee and Womack record that had "I May Hate Myself in the Morning" on it. And I went on the computer and I saw that it was Byron Gallimore, and even though I knew nobody in town, I still knew who Byron Gallimore was, and I remember thinking, there's no way in heck I'll ever get to somebody like that. And I was just getting ready to sign with another publishing company. I was offered 5 or 6 different deals. His came in at the very last minute, and I went and shook his hand, and I knew that's where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I've been there ever since.
Well, I don't think anybody would argue with you that that's a great place to be.
It's family.
And Byron's he's just got an ear for a sound that he gets it. He knows what it's supposed to sound like in the end. And I'm glad you referenced the Lee and Womack record. One of my very favorite all-time albums.
Mine as well.
Artist as well, and she just good news. So you've been here and you wrote for a while, and everybody, you're an overnight success probably now after 7 years.
7-year overnight success.
Yeah, that's what everybody says, right? So now you've had a real flourish of success though in the last couple of years here. So with songs to Nashville, right? To the ABC show Nashville.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've had a handful of songs placed in that TV series, and Frankie Pine, the music supervisor of that show, just took quite the liking to me and my songs, and it's been a huge honor. That's been a great platform. Obviously, it doesn't just reach a country audience.
Right.
It reaches a completely different demographic, and has exposed me not only as a songwriter but as an artist to their whole audience. And it's been a lot of fun. And all the actors, they're great people, and I've had a lot of fun writing songs with them, and they're very involved in Nashville, the city itself, and it's important to them to keep this very Nashville based, and I really appreciate that, and I think everybody else in town does as well.
I think so. I mean, I think obviously everybody was concerned when there was talk for a move the production to Atlanta down to the big studio, and I mean, you could not get the same show in Atlanta.
No, you wouldn't.
Exciting to say. I've been here a long time, and used to tell a lot of young artists, I always say, why do I have to come to Nashville to write hit songs? I said, well, you don't have to come to Nashville to be a great songwriter, but this is where great songs are written every day, and it's a great place to practice and learn your craft, and it's the place to be.
So, totally. You step up your game. If you want to play ball, that's where you come.
So let's talk about your let's talk about your record. Let's talk about what you're going to do. Where are we going to hear from you, right?
Well, I've got the one record that I put out a little over a year ago. I put it out in February. I wrote or co-wrote everything on it.
Yeah.
But we're going back in with Byron here probably in the next little bit.
Okay.
Going to cut some new stuff for my next record, which I'm really excited about. And those songs will be more in the vein of the Nashville songs that I had placed in there, which in general I feel is more rootsy, and that's just kind of always where my heart has been since the beginning.
Right, yeah,
And
that's
so,
very cool.
yeah.
And I think that's been one of the big bonuses to that show, is it's brought that new aspect of country, which we're all really familiar with.
Yes,
that
very
very
songwriter
roots
based,
sound, right?
yes.
And that singer-songwriter type thing, and a little less that hard-line commercial. And I think
Totally.
I think the market's bending that way. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
So we're hoping for a lot of success from you.
Thank you
I know
so
with Byron in your court, you can't go wrong. I would be amazed if you missed, and you're obviously a great talent, and excited about the new things you got coming.
Thank you so much. I
Okay, so where are we
appreciate
going to get you? Where can we pick up your current?
You can find it on iTunes, or you can go to my website and order a hard copy. And you can find me on Facebook and on the Twitter.
Yeah.
And my website, which is www.jaidadreyer.com.
Okay, very cool. All right, Jaida Dreyer, thank you very much,
Thank you
Jaida.
so much.
All right.